Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marte, I come from Norway and I love makeup. And today I'm doing another fragrance video here on my channel, which I have been starting to do every now and then. And we are getting into fall season, which is my favorite season. Actually, we're getting close to the end of fall season here in Norway because it's starting to get freezing temperatures. But either way, the cold weather is the perfect time to wear cozy scents, and especially Gourmand scents, which I love. They're some of my favorite scents. So in this video I figured I would show you my top 10 favorite fall scents. All of them are Gourmand scents, and you will see a lot of vanilla, you will see tonka, you will see spicy notes, some caramel. So if those kind of notes sound good to you, then I'm sure you will find a lot of perfumes in this video that you will like. So let's get started. There is not really a particular order in which I'm talking about these perfumes because it changes every day. I love all of these perfumes. All of these perfumes are perfumes that I would purchase again. So I'm just gonna start with Althaïr from Parfums de Marly. And this perfume is actually a men's perfume, but I would say it's more unisex, leaning to more masculine. But that's why I always use this together with scents that are a little bit sweeter and more feminine, like for example Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana, because this one is just like almost vanilla sugar and it's really nice together with this one. So I don't really use this alone, but this is just the perfect fall scent. And as you can see from the top notes, it's cinnamon, it's cardamom, and it's just super cozy. It does have bourbon vanilla in the middle notes, which makes it very nice and sweet. And then in the base notes you do have praline, which makes it even sweeter. It does have some musk, some woody notes. You have tonka, and you also have some candied almond, which is just giving it a little bit of a nutty kind of scent, but this one is just so good. I definitely recommend it, and I will purchase it again if I run out of it, but I feel like I have about until here, so I think it's still good for a while. But that is Althaïr by Parfums de Marly. Next up we have this one from Cleef and Arpels, and I don't know how to pronounce either the brand or the name of the perfume, but it's Bois Doré or something. And this one is just, to me, it's fall spices, but I can see from the notes that it doesn't really have that. But to me, it's, of course, it's some almond, which is in the notes, in the middle notes, but to me it's just very like fall spices, and it's quite sweet. And this one I would say is unisex or maybe leaning towards being feminine, and I really like this either alone or together with Bianco Latte, for example. This one also has some pepper to it, which just gives it a little bit of an edge. And then you also have sweet notes like tonka and vanilla, and you have some musk, but you also have a few woody notes with the cedar and the teak wood. But this one is just, I smelled it in a perfumery and I went back and I wanted to buy it. So I just got it immediately because it was so good. And I really do like this, and I reach for it so much during fall now. So that is Bois Doré by Cleef and Arpels. Next up we do have Nebras from Lattafa, and this is just an all-time favorite for me for fall. It's not necessarily my top one, but it's probably like top 3 or 5 because it's just so good. It smells like chocolate, but it's also got something minty going on, but also something fruity. So this one is definitely a bit sweeter than the previous ones, but it also has a bit more fruitiness and also some rose to it. So for the sweet notes, it does have sugar, it has tonka bean, it has vanilla, and it does have cacao, which makes it just so cozy. And this is one I love to wear before bed, for example, or also layering together with other scents like Althaïr would be really nice with this one because it just adds a lot of sweetness to it. And I just love this scent so much. I do actually have the Billie Eilish perfume, and I feel like this one is just a bit more rounder and sweeter and all around a little bit more complex, so I definitely prefer this one, and it also lasts longer on me. So yeah, that is definitely one of my favorites, and that is Nebras from Lattafa. The next one is also a Gourmand scent, but this one is a little bit different from the previous ones because I find that this one is a little bit more fruity. It's also very sweet, but it doesn't necessarily have those fall spices. but it has top notes of apple and grape, which makes it super fruity and sweet, and it actually reminds me a lot of Golden Sand. I actually do have it here. It's from All Rehab. This one is just a little bit simpler, whereas Swiss Arabian's Casablanca is, I find that it's quite complex, and it does have some patchouli. It also does have some suede and Peru balsam, which makes it, I don't know, it's just a little bit less feminine and less sweet because of that. But I just find that that makes it very unique and special, and this is just so delicious. You definitely get the caramel that is in this one, and it reminds me a bit of like caramel apples. I've never tasted it, but it's what I imagine those would smell like, together with like vanilla and other kind of pastries, and yeah, just like the fall vibes at like a festival or something where they serve caramel apples. I don't know. It's very, very delicious, and I do really like this one. I just think that if you're a little bit skeptical to notes like patchouli or Peru balsam, I think that you should probably test it out before getting a bottle. But to me, this is so delicious and addictive. So that is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. Now the next one is actually a dupe for Kilian's Angel Share. It's from Alt Fragrances. I love their dupe perfumes. They're so amazing. This is called Amber Angel, and you can see I used this a lot last year. I've barely worn it this year, but this is so delicious. I just picture this being a little bit more of a feminine version from Angel's Share, but I haven't smelled it personally. I have just smelled this one, and it's so good. It's like a cinnamon apple pie with just all those delicious fall spices, and it's very sweet and delicious. It is definitely a bit boozy, which you can get from the cognac in the top notes, but it's very sweet as well because it does have both tonka bean, it has praline, it has vanilla. So it's just a very, very sweet scent, but it's not cloying at all, to me at least. And I think the sandalwood works perfectly in this perfume because I personally am not the biggest fan of sandalwood if it's too much of it. So I think that this one is just the perfect amount of sandalwood together with those sweet, delicious notes. So that is the scent Amber Angel by Alt Fragrances. Definitely a favorite. Next up we have a perfume which is very hyped up right now, and it's Turmeric Latte from Lush Cosmetics. And I bought this, I think it's 2 years ago, when I was working at Lush, because I did have a part-time job there before they had to shut down. And this is just such a sweet, sweet, delicious scent. It has a lot of turmeric to it, but other than that it only has, I think it is tonka, vanilla, and benzoin. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's just a very delicious, very cozy scent. You can wear this alone, but it is very, very sweet and cozy, and it's also just very powerful. So this is a quite loud perfume, but it's not cloying or too intense, I find, if you don't spray too much. I usually just spray like one spray of this and it's more than enough. You can see I've barely used this bottle and I've had it for 2 years, and I do use it occasionally. So yeah, definitely a perfume I do recommend because it is limited edition. They do tend to bring it back, but I got the big bottle because then it lasts me like forever. So yeah, but it's just a super, super nice fall scent, especially if you like turmeric and just cozy, delicious, sweet scents. So that is Turmeric Latte from Lush Cosmetics. The next scent is full of delicious spices. This is Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit. This is a cologne and it's from 2023. And I bought this secondhand because it was sold out, and I think it's limited edition, and I don't know if they're bringing it back, but this one is so good. At first I thought it was a little bit plain, but after wearing it a few times I can really get those delicious fall spices which are in here. It is quite heavy on the ginger. It also has nutmeg, it has cinnamon, and it's just a delicious mix of those spices. It has caramel, which makes it quite sweet, and then hazelnut is what I feel like is giving it the more kind of biscuit vibe, I guess. And it also has sweet notes like vanilla and tonka in the base notes. So it's just a very, very nice scent, and this one lasts quite long. You do have to do a few sprays, but once you have that on, it's gonna smell delicious for the rest of the day. I feel like not necessarily all of the notes are gonna be staying on your skin, but you definitely still get beautiful whiffs of the scent during the day. So this is definitely one I don't regret getting because I love wearing it. It's just so cozy and nice, but I feel like this is one scent that is maybe a little bit less sweet than the other ones I've mentioned, so it's a little bit easier to maybe wear outside, which I also feel like the Bois Doré, I feel like I'm butchering that name, but I feel like those are kind of in the same realm when it comes to that. They're both a little bit spicy, they're very cozy, they have some sweetness to them, but there's not too much of anything, so they're just very likable in my opinion. So yeah, that is Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit. For the last 3 scents, they're all from the dupe brand Essnce, which is a Swedish brand. And this one surprised me so much. It is called Sugar Kiss. And my first impression of this was it really reminded me of the Armani Stronger With You Intensely. And I love that scent. I bought the same, like from the same brand, they have the dupe version of that, and I bought that for my partner, and I just love it when he wears it. And I feel like this is like a more feminine version of that, while still not being super feminine. I think it's more of a unisex scent, but if you do like very feminine scents, you will probably find that it's not feminine enough. But they do say that this one actually has some notes that are similar to Baccarat Rouge, which they also have a dupe for. And I can definitely see that it is a bit powdery, but from the notes I don't really see that many similarities, I think, but it does have a lot of those delicious fall notes. It has vanilla, it has cinnamon, it actually has cashmere, I think. I only have the notes in Swedish, so if you don't understand it, I'm sorry. But it also has like cocoa and labdanum and some coffee extract, so it's just a very complex scent, and it's very powerful too. So this one is one you might want to layer with something that is a little bit sweeter, something a little bit more round, but I also think it's delicious by itself. But it's like a very spicy and very strong scent. But it has been one of the perfumes I've been using the most during this fall, or at least since I got it a few weeks ago. I've been using it several days a week. So that is Sugar Kiss from Essnce. As I said, this next one is also from Essnce. This is called Drunk Apple Pie, and this one is very similar to Amber Angel from Alt Fragrances because this one is also duping Kilian's Angel Share, and I think this is very delicious. It is a little bit different. I feel like this one is maybe a little bit less fruity and just more on that kind of, like, it smells a little bit like the sugary cinnamon feeling that you have in cinnamon buns. It's kind of like the best way that I can describe this, whereas Amber Angel is more perfumey in a way. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but this one is definitely super cozy, super delicious, and it also lasts for a long time, which is what I love about the Essnce perfumes. So that is Drunk Apple Pie by Essnce. Last but not least, we have High on Shy from Essnce, and this one I thought I would like even more, but it's still very good and something that's just perfect for fall because it does have ginger in it. It's a little bit like the Ginger Biscuit from Jo Malone, but I feel like this one is just more focused on the shy. I do kind of also find that this one is a little bit drier. It gets kind of like more of, I mean, this doesn't sound good, but like, you know, the smell of paper. It's kind of just a little bit dry like that, I feel like. But it does have all of those delicious spices. It has cinnamon, it has muscat. I think that's also how you say it in English, but correct me if I'm wrong. And then it has the sweet notes of caramel, it has vanilla, and it has tonka, which are notes that you can see in almost all of these perfumes because I do love them so much. It also has some hazelnuts, so you can definitely see some similarities with the Ginger Biscuit. But this one is just a little bit more, I suppose, when you're like making the pastry or making the biscuits, when you smell those dry ingredients, whereas Ginger Biscuit is more like the finished actual pastries, if that makes any kind of sense. But yeah, that was the last one, High on Shy from Essnce, and I hope that you like this video. I am not the best at talking about perfume, but I guess it will just get better the more I do it, so I hope that you liked the video. Please leave me comments down below if you know any of these perfumes and your thoughts on them. But also I would love to hear your favorite fall fragrances and the fragrances you've been wearing the most the last few weeks. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and hopefully I will see you in my next video too. Bye!